An Australian, I found out.
I'm actually English.
English?
I went to Australia when I was 5, and I lived there for 10 years, and then I went back to England again, so I've sort of got 2 nationalities.
Olivia Newton-John was more than just a talented singer and actress. She had a charm that captivated everyone, even late-night TV host Johnny Carson. When she appeared on The Tonight Show, she shocked not only Carson but also millions of viewers. Known for her grace and sweet demeanor, Newton-John did something so unexpected that it became the talk of the night. What could the Grease star have done to leave such a lasting impression? Join us as we dive into that unforgettable moment and explore some lesser-known details about her incredible life. Early life and family. Olivia Newton-John was born on September 26, 1948 in Cambridge, England, to Bryn Newton-John and Irene Helene Bourne. Her family had a rich and fascinating history. Her father, Bryn, was Welsh and came from a middle-class family, while her mother, Irene, had deep academic roots in Germany. In fact, Olivia's maternal grandfather was Max Born, a German Jewish physicist who won the Nobel Prize. Her mother's family had fled Nazi Germany in 1933, settling in the UK. Olivia's family history even traced back to Protestant theologian Martin Luther, making her family's background a mix of remarkable achievements and significant historical connections. Olivia's father wasn't just any ordinary man either. He served as an MI5 officer during World War II and even played a role in capturing Rudolf Hess, one of Adolf Hitler's deputies. After the war, he transitioned into education and became the headmaster of a boys' school in Cambridgeshire. When Olivia was just 5, the family made a significant move, relocating to Melbourne, Australia in 1954. Her father continued his academic career there, becoming a professor at the University of Melbourne. Growing up, Olivia was the youngest of 3 children. She had a brother, Hugh, who later became a medical doctor, and a sister, Rona, who pursued a career in acting. Interestingly, Rona was once married to Jeff Conaway, Olivia's co-star in Grease. Olivia also had 2 half-siblings from her father's second marriage, further expanding her family. The move to Australia and early career. When Olivia's family moved to Australia, her life began to take a new direction. She attended Christchurch Grammar School and later University High School in Melbourne. Though her early dream was to become a veterinarian, she quickly realized science wasn't her strong suit and instead turned to music and performance. Olivia's first taste of fame came when she formed an all-girls singing group called Sol 4 with her friends when she was just 14. They performed at local venues, and Olivia's love for music started to grow. But it was at age 15 when she entered and won a talent competition on Sing 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 that her career really started to take off. One of the prizes was a trip to the UK, and though she was initially hesitant to go, her mother encouraged her to take the opportunity. Once there, her music journey truly began. In 1966, Olivia recorded her first single, Till You Say You'll Be Mine, in the UK. Around that time, she also teamed up with fellow singer Pat Carroll, and together they formed a duo, performing at nightclubs across Europe. They faced their share of surprises, like when they unknowingly performed at a strip club in London while dressed in prim outfits. But their partnership didn't last forever as Pat's visa expired, leaving Olivia to continue pursuing her music career on her own in the UK. The road to international stardom. While Olivia was steadily building her career, she was recruited for a new project called Tomorrow, a pop group formed by American producer Don Kirshner. The group starred in a sci-fi musical film also called Tomorrow and recorded an album. However, despite high hopes, the project didn't succeed and the group disbanded. Olivia, undeterred, pressed on with her solo work. Her big break came in the 1970s. Olivia found massive success with the release of the hit single Let Me Be There in 1973. The song peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won her a Grammy Award for Best Female Country Vocal Performance. This track set the stage for more hits to follow, including I Honestly Love You, which became one of her signature songs and won her another Grammy. Then came 1978, the year that truly changed Olivia's life. She was cast as Sandy Olsen in the movie Grease, starring opposite John Travolta. The film was a massive hit and became the highest-grossing musical of its time. The soundtrack was equally successful, featuring timeless songs like "You're the One That I Want" and "Hopelessly Devoted to You." Olivia's role as Sandy turned her into a global superstar, and she became a household name. Her career continued to soar in the 1980s with the release of Physical, which topped the charts and became one of the most iconic songs of the decade. It solidified Olivia's place in music history and gave her an enduring legacy as both a singer and actress. Throughout her career, Olivia sold over 100 million records, making her one of the best-selling artists of all time. Despite her fame, she remained grounded and used her platform to advocate for causes close to her heart, such as breast cancer awareness, after being diagnosed with the disease herself. But what happened on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson that left everyone talking? Her unforgettable appearance on The Tonight Show. It was 1974 and Olivia Newton-John was already a rising star in the music world, though this was before her iconic role in Grease. That night, Johnny welcomed Olivia for the first time on his show, and the audience was eager to see what the buzz was about. She walked on stage dressed in a beautiful cream-colored flowing dress, smiling from ear to ear. The crowd cheered, but no one expected what came next. As Olivia began performing her hit song, "If You Love Me, Let Me Know," the entire room was captivated. She swayed and danced to the music, snapping her fingers, her voice filling the room with a smooth country vibe. The song had already been a massive hit, reaching number 5 on the pop charts and number 2 on the country charts, but seeing her perform it live was a whole new experience. Olivia's warm smile and engaging presence brought the song to life in a way that left Johnny Carson and the entire audience in awe. After her performance, Johnny and Olivia shared a light-hearted conversation. Johnny seemed charmed by Olivia's Australian roots, but she quickly corrected him, pointing out that she was actually born in England. The two then laughed about Australian slang, and Olivia playfully taught Johnny how to say air conditioner in Aussie slang, pronouncing it as agnitioner. Johnny's attempt at saying it had everyone, including Olivia, laughing. Later that night, she performed her emotional ballad, "I Honestly Love You," delivering a heartfelt performance that left a lasting impression on everyone who watched. It became her first #1 hit in both the US and Canada. Speaking of which, Olivia's life off stage was as eventful as her career. Her early relationships and personal struggles. In the mid-1960s, Olivia dated Australian actor and singer Ian Turpie. They met while Olivia was performing with her group Sol 4. Their relationship lasted until Olivia moved back to England in 1966 to pursue her career further. During this time, Olivia also got engaged to Bruce Welch, who was not only her producer, but also a co-writer on her hit song, "Please, Mr. Please." However, their relationship ended in 1972, which led to a dark moment in Bruce's life when he attempted suicide. By 1973, Olivia had a new love in her life, British businessman Lee Kramer. Lee became her boyfriend and manager, and their relationship was quite the roller coaster. Olivia later described their time together as one long breakup, showing how turbulent their connection really was. They lived together on and off, but in 1979, their relationship officially ended. Even though their romance didn't last, Lee remained a significant figure in Olivia's life during those early years of her career. Olivia's personal life took another turn when she met actor Matt Lattanzi on the set of Xanadu in 1980. They fell in love and got married in 1984. A year later, in 1986, they welcomed their daughter Chloe Rose into the world. For years, it seemed like Olivia had found her happy ending. But in 1995, after over a decade of marriage, Olivia and Matt separated, and they finalized their divorce in 1996. Despite their separation, the two remained friends and focused on co-parenting Chloe. In the years following her divorce, Olivia started dating cameraman Patrick McDermott. They had an on-and-off relationship for nearly 9 years. But in 2005, Patrick disappeared during a fishing trip off the coast of California, leaving behind a trail of mystery. At the time, Olivia was in Australia at her Gaia retreat and spa, unaware of the tragedy that was unfolding. The U.S. Coast Guard later concluded that Patrick was likely lost at sea, but rumors persisted that he might have faked his death. There were even claims that Patrick was living in Mexico, though none of these rumors were ever confirmed. Amid all this, Olivia found love once again. In 1993, she met John Easterling, an eco-entrepreneur who founded the Amazon Herb Company. At the time, both were married to other people, but by 2007 their lives had aligned and they began dating. The couple married in a spiritual ceremony in Peru in 2008, followed by a legal wedding in Florida just days later. John, whom Olivia lovingly referred to as Amazon John, was a huge source of support for her, especially as she continued her battle with breast cancer. From her shocking moment on The Tonight Show to the ups and downs in her personal life, Olivia Newton-John's story is one filled with love, loss, and resilience. Her charm, talent, and strength have left a lasting impact on the world, both on and off the stage. But there have been moments in her life that were tragic and heartbreaking for her. The role that almost wasn't. One of the first twists in Olivia Newton-John's journey almost took away the role that would define her career. It's hard to imagine anyone but Olivia playing Sandy in the 1978 hit Grease, but she almost turned down the role. During the 40th anniversary screening of Grease in 2018, Olivia revealed that she wasn't sure if she wanted to take on the project. Her doubts stemmed from an earlier film experience. In England, she had starred in a musical that didn't go well, leaving her nervous about taking on another movie role. She even feared the potential failure of a big musical like Grease. However, Olivia's doubts were put to rest when John Travolta personally visited her. John, with his bright blue eyes and undeniable charm, persuaded her to give it a shot. Who could say no to that? He reassured her, and their friendship was key to her accepting the role. There was also the matter of Olivia's age. At 29, she was worried about playing a high school teenager, Sandy Olsen. She openly questioned whether it would be believable. But Travolta reminded her that none of the cast members were as young as their characters, and that gave her the confidence to proceed. That decision changed everything. Grease became an iconic film, and Olivia's portrayal of Sandy earned her worldwide recognition. Her chemistry with Travolta was electric, but despite their obvious on-screen connection, the two never pursued a relationship off-screen. Olivia later explained on the No Filter podcast that they were both involved with other people at the time. Olivia was dating her manager, Lee Kramer, and she felt it was better that they didn't complicate their friendship with romance. In her words, it might have been a real disaster had we decided to date. And looking back, perhaps it was for the best. The two remained lifelong friends, keeping that spark alive in the movie without letting it spill over into real life. But while Olivia found professional success, her personal life was marked by heartbreak and loss. Heartbreak and loss. In 1995, after 10 years of marriage, she divorced actor Matt Lattanzi, with whom she had her daughter, Chloe Rose. Their split was rumored to have been due to Matt's unfaithfulness. However, despite the challenges, Olivia and Matt remained amicable and focused on raising their daughter together. But nothing could have prepared Olivia for the tragedy that followed in 2005 when her long-term boyfriend, Patrick McDermott, mysteriously vanished. Patrick and Olivia had been in an on-and-off relationship for 9 years when he disappeared during a fishing trip in San Pedro, California. The shocking part was that no one noticed his disappearance for nearly a week. He was reported missing only when he didn't show up for a family gathering. For Olivia, the heartache was unbearable. There were many rumors and speculations surrounding Patrick's disappearance. Some believed he had accidentally fallen overboard and was lost at sea, while others insisted he faked his own death to escape debts. Rumors even circulated that Patrick was living in Mexico with a new girlfriend. Despite all the theories, Olivia could never find closure. She told Australian Women's Weekly that she didn't think she would ever be at peace with what happened. The U.S. Coast Guard's official investigation concluded that Patrick likely drowned during the trip, but the unresolved mystery continued to haunt Olivia for years, a house of tragedy. Olivia Newton-John's life took another tragic turn when what should have been a dream home became the site of a disturbing event. In 2009, Olivia and her second husband, John Easterling, purchased a stunning waterside mansion in Florida's Jupiter Inlet. The house was meant to be their sanctuary, but it soon became the center of an unsettling tragedy. The couple decided to sell the mansion in 2013 and hired a contractor to oversee renovations that would boost the property's value. But during the renovations, the unthinkable happened. Christopher Parisoletti, the 41-year-old contractor hired to manage the work, took his own life in one of the bedrooms while Olivia and John were away. The news sent shockwaves through Olivia's life once again. As if dealing with such a tragedy wasn't enough, the suicide incident caused a prospective buyer, Rosie O'Donnell, to pull out of purchasing the home. The mansion seemed tainted by the event, making it nearly impossible to sell. Olivia and John even resorted to bringing in an exorcist to cleanse the house of any negative energy. But the ordeal left a lasting scar on Olivia. It took years before the house was finally sold in 2016, for significantly less than its original listing price. Through all of these personal struggles, her near miss with Greece, the mysterious disappearance of her boyfriend, and the tragic event in her home, Olivia Newton-John somehow kept her bright and optimistic spirit alive. But one of the most painful parts of Olivia Newton-John's life was watching her daughter, Chloe Rose Lattanzi, go through her own struggles. Her daughter's battle with anorexia and addiction. Chloe, her only child from her marriage to actor Matt Lattanzi, faced a tough battle with anorexia as a teenager. In a 2013 interview, Chloe opened up about her past, admitting that she was embarrassed by how she looked back then. She revealed how shocking it was for her to see old photos of herself looking like a walking skeleton. At one point, Chloe weighed only 90 pounds, even though she stood at 5 feet 6 inches tall. The pressure of growing up as the daughter of a celebrity added to Chloe's anxiety, leading to both her eating disorder and substance abuse. She shared how fame messes you up, and explained that while she didn't blame her mother for her struggles, she believed the celebrity lifestyle made things worse. Chloe was determined to avoid the same path for her future children, saying she would never want to raise them around the pressures of fame. Interestingly, despite her struggles, Chloe followed in her mother's footsteps and pursued a career in entertainment. In 2015, Olivia and Chloe even collaborated on a song called "You Have to Believe," which was a remix of Olivia's hit Magic from Xanadu. By that time, Chloe had turned her life around and credited her fiancé, James Driscoll, for helping her recover. With his support, she managed to overcome her eating disorder and substance abuse issues, marking a brighter chapter in her life. Now, although Olivia Newton-John was a huge success in the music and film industries, her venture into the business world didn't go as planned. The failure of her business venture. In the early 1980s, Olivia founded Koala Blue, a sportswear line that was inspired by her love of casual, comfortable clothing. The business initially took off, with a flagship store on Melrose Avenue in Hollywood. It was a hit, and the company quickly expanded to 49 stores around the world, with locations in places like Australia, France, Japan, and Canada. But as successful as it seemed, the company expanded too quickly. When the economic downturn of the early 1990s hit, Koala Blue struggled to survive. By 1991, the company had to file for bankruptcy. Reflecting on the collapse of her business, Olivia told People magazine that the expansion had happened too fast, and when the recession came, they were hit hard. It was yet another blow in Olivia's life, adding to the challenges she had faced personally and professionally. Despite the failure of her sportswear line, Olivia didn't stop there. She explored other ventures, including writing children's books and cookbooks. This allowed her to continue sharing her talents in new ways, even after Koala Blue came to an end. Though her business didn't last, Olivia's resilience and creativity helped her move forward, losing loved ones to cancer and her own battle. Cancer played a significant role in Olivia Newton-John's life, both in terms of her personal battles and the losses of those closest to her. In 1992, Olivia's life took a tragic turn when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. That year was especially difficult for her, as her father and her 5-year-old goddaughter had also passed away from cancer. Olivia described that period as a time when everything seemed to come crashing down all at once. "It was all at once," she told People magazine, explaining that the overwhelming grief and fear made it hard to cope. Olivia underwent a partial mastectomy, breast reconstruction, and chemotherapy. Remarkably, she managed to recover and stayed cancer-free for more than 20 years. Her experience led her to become a passionate advocate for cancer research. In 2012, she opened the Olivia Newton-John Cancer and Wellness Center in Melbourne, Australia, a facility dedicated to providing treatment and support for cancer patients. But cancer wasn't finished with her. In 2013, Olivia faced another devastating loss when her older sister, Rona Newton-John, passed away from brain cancer. The timing was particularly heartbreaking, as Rona died on what would have been their late mother's birthday. Olivia had often spoken about how her challenges had made her stronger, and she reflected on her strength during an interview with Today, saying, "I'm a much stronger person than I realized." Then, in 2017, Olivia's breast cancer returned. This time, the cancer had metastasized to her lower back. She had to cancel her tour to focus on treatment, but Olivia remained positive. She combined conventional medical treatments with alternative therapies, including the use of cannabidiol oil. Her daughter Chloe also expressed her optimism, saying, "My mom and best friend is going to be fine." Olivia's positive attitude and her willingness to explore new treatments showed her determination to continue fighting the disease. But her battle with cancer wasn't over yet. In 2019, Olivia revealed that her condition had worsened, and she was admitted to her own cancer center for 3 weeks. This time, the cancer had spread to her bones, and Olivia described the experience as one of the scariest she'd ever faced. She had broken her sacrum, the bone at the base of her spine, and had to relearn how to walk. Despite the fear and pain, Olivia showed incredible resilience once again. In an interview with 60 Minutes Australia, she talked about how living with cancer had changed her perspective on life. She explained that she tried not to view it as a battle, but instead focused on healing and maintaining a positive mindset. While she endured more than her share of tragedy, she never let it break her spirit. The bond between mother and daughter in the face of cancer. Olivia once shared on the A Life of Greatness podcast that during her pregnancy with Chloe, she had nearly lost her. That terrifying experience led Olivia to turn to her faith, making a pact with God. She prayed for Chloe's safety, promising to say the Lord's Prayer every night if her baby survived, and she kept that promise. Years later, when Olivia's back pain in 2017 was revealed to be another recurrence of cancer, Chloe returned the favor. She took to Instagram, asking fans to send healing prayers for her mother. "I love you, Mama," she wrote, showing just how much she cherished her mother. Chloe believed in the power of positive thinking and wanted to support Olivia in any way she could, just as Olivia had done for her. Despite Olivia Newton-John's long battle with cancer, she and her daughter Chloe Latanzi rarely talked about the illness. In an interview with 60 Minutes Australia, Olivia explained that discussing her illness with Chloe was difficult because of their deep connection. "She's my daughter. She's part of me," Olivia said, emphasizing how hard it was to face such conversations with someone so close. Chloe, on the other hand, mentioned that she avoided bringing up the topic unless her mother wanted to. When she was a child, Chloe actually found out about her mother's initial cancer diagnosis from a classmate, not Olivia herself. This reluctance to talk about cancer was also present when Olivia faced the disease for the 3rd time. Chloe shared how much she hated when strangers would constantly remind her mother of her illness, which only made things harder for both of them. For Chloe, her mother's battle with cancer also became a turning point for her own struggles. She revealed that her mother's illness helped her face her own issues, saying, "Her illness helped me heal my illness." Chloe had battled severe depression and substance abuse, but Olivia's situation made her realize that she needed to be strong, happy, and present for her mother. It was a wake-up call that Chloe couldn't ignore anymore, and she faced her challenges head-on to be there for Olivia when she needed her most. After Olivia's death in 2022, Chloe continued to honor their bond. She shared photos of their special moments together, and just days before Olivia passed away, Chloe posted a loving tribute to her mother, calling her "my best friend" and expressing the deep admiration she had for her. Olivia Newton-John's final days. Olivia Newton-John and actress Jane Seymour shared a beautiful friendship that spanned decades. Their connection ran deep, as Jane had once been roommates with Olivia's late sister Rona. It felt as if their paths were meant to cross, and they remained close until Olivia's final days. Jane even called Olivia hopelessly devoted to her, a phrase that speaks to their long-lasting bond. Jane was by Olivia's side during her last moments, witnessing how Olivia found joy in the simple things, even while in pain. In a heartfelt interview on Good Morning Britain, Jane recalled how Olivia would point out the beauty around her, saying, "Look at this hummingbird, look at the sky, look at nature." Olivia, despite her suffering, chose to focus on the little moments of beauty, appreciating life until the very end. Jane had seen her dear friend suffer over the years. In fact, she thought Olivia's time was running out about 3 years earlier, when Olivia appeared frail and skeletal. Yet Olivia continued to hold on, driven by her love for those around her. Jane shared how difficult it was to watch Olivia in so much pain, but she also knew that continuing on in such a state was no life for her friend. "We didn't want her to go, but it wasn't a life for her anymore," Jane said, expressing the bittersweet emotions of losing a friend while understanding that it was time for her to find peace. Olivia's unique perspective on death. As Olivia Newton-John faced her third bout with cancer, she developed a unique perspective on death. Unlike many people who fear it, Olivia found comfort in the idea of the afterlife. In a 2021 interview on the A Life of Greatness podcast, she spoke openly about her belief in spirits and the existence of something beyond life. "I've had experiences with spirits and spirit life. I believe there is something that happens," Olivia said. Her words showed that she didn't view death as something to dread, but rather as something to embrace when the time came. This outlook also allowed her to continue giving, even after her passing. Before she died, Olivia made a final request for donations to be made to her Olivia Newton-John Foundation Fund, which supports research into plant-based medicines and cancer treatments. This act of generosity was typical of Olivia, who had dedicated much of her life to helping others. Her foundation was just one way she hoped to continue making a difference long after she was gone. In her last Instagram post, Olivia shared a touching photo with her husband, John Easterling. Just days later, John announced her death to the world. While fans were heartbroken, many took solace in knowing that Olivia had found peace. She had inspired so many through her strength, her love, and her ability to find beauty in life, no matter how hard the challenges became. A year before her passing, Olivia had told Australian Women's Weekly, "I want to pass on something good and something valuable that's going to help people." True to her word, Olivia's legacy continues to do just that, as her life serves as an inspiration to all who knew her and those who admired her from afar. What do you think about the journey of Olivia Newton-John, balancing her career success with the personal challenges she faced? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating stories.